So, good evening everyone. My name is Nicholas. We might have met some of you before. And welcome to another evening on our path of learning more and more about our subtle system, Chakras and Kundalini. Before I go on further, I see there's a question from someone about why there was no one looking after and leading a meditation this morning, and what was the reason. Well, the reason was that there was a very big international meeting over the weekend up near Oxfordshire at the Sahaja Yoga Centre. Well over 1,000 people came from all over Europe and places, and it went on pretty late, and I think there was some trouble probably getting back in time to run the meditation this morning. So many apologies for that. I don't think it was intended, and probably someone thought someone else would do it, and that person thought someone else would do it, and it didn't happen. So I bow to all of you who actually tried to attend it. That's pretty good that you're there, but well, soon you'll be able to lead the meditations and guide them. So what we're going to do tonight is some of you might be foot soaking, in which case carry on please. If you're not, don't worry, because we're going to do some exercises which will to help clear and open the central channel. That's what we're looking at tonight. This one, up the center. Now, some of you might have already seen how we clear the energies in the channels, which is when you want to clear the left side, you put your right hand down towards the earth. And when you want to clear your right side, the heat of the right side goes up, and you put your left hand up towards the ethers and let the ether absorb all the heat of our right side, the side of action. But tonight we're going to look at the ways of opening and clearing something of our central channel. That's the one we're going to use now as we raise our Kundalini and put ourselves in Bandhan, because that's what we do. We go up the center. So let's all do that, please. 3 knots. And then this arc we call the Bandhan, that covers our subtle system in a kind of protective aura with vibrations. So, the 3 channels. As you know, there's a central one, and one on the left and one on the right here. So if we look on the left hand side here, it says the right channel, which is this is on the right side of our body, and the right channel tends to be used very much when we're thinking about the future and future plans, when we're planning physical activity, when we're doing physical activity, when we're occupying our mind, doing a lot of mental activity and using our attention. So really it is the sun sign, as you can see in the central drawing. The dynamism, above the dynamism is the sun. So it's the side of masculinity, action, planning, and our thinking really gets occupied a lot from the energy of the right side. If you look over on the right side of the picture, you'll see the left channel, and the left channel is mainly occupied and where we go when we're thinking about the past, and especially if we get emotional about the past, and we have sorrows. If we have joy, that's more towards the center, but also we can still be, because the emotions are also generally gathered in the left-hand channel, and our feelings and our desires start here. Our desire needs action to fulfill it, so the desire starts on the left channel, and then we move to the right for the action to carry out that desire. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just a small exercise. It's really balancing, because balance and equilibrium are one of the main aims that most people, when asked why they want to meditate, is to find some balance. Because when we can't stop our thoughts, or we can't get out of an emotional state, sadness or too much thinking or busyness or happiness even, you've got to calm down to get in the center. So what we do really is, I think I might have to, could I see my scholastic please? Because, thank you. So we're going to, so obviously the central channel is in the middle, and I'm just trying to go back a bit. What we're going to do, for instance, if I'm feeling very lethargic, tired, or very emotional, sad, that means I'm down in the left side. So what do I need to do? I take the energy of the right channel up over the top here, across the Agnya, and push it down on the left side. Now this is not a bandhan, which we do over, this is protection over. This is raising the energy of our channels. You can see I'm inside my body here. I go up, across, and then I press down. And the energy, of course, follows our hand. So if you'd like to follow along with me for a few seconds to get the hang of it, of course, I am doing it in the mirror way, but you go up the right and press down on the left. So imagine you're drawing up the energy, the fiery energy of action across the top and pressing down and pouring that energy into the cold, lethargic, or still side of our body, the energy on the left side. Up we go, across, and press down. Up we go, across, and press down. Now, how many times do we do that? Well, we tend to think in terms of seven chakras, 3 times 7 is 21. You can do it, actually it doesn't matter how often you do it, but at least you can set goals of 21, 28, 108. Some people, if they can't get to sleep, pull up the left side, which I'll show you in a minute, over and over for 100 times until they fall asleep. So putting up the left side, you go up the left side, across the top, and push down the right. So when you can't get to sleep, when you need to relax, want to calm down, you pull up the left, across the top, and push down on the right. So we can do that a few times together. Now we've switched sides. Now it's very subtle energy, this, but if we do it enough times, this way, you begin to feel. And of course it depends how sensitive you are, and everyone has different stages of their sensitivity. But some people do feel immediately more tranquil, or if they're too tired and lethargic, then they can feel more energetic. They can feel a little better, less tired. So this is the way that you can put ourselves in balance. And remember that, please. It's not a matter of just clearing it. This is the way we're taking the energy that's too much on the right, let's say, and pouring it where it's needed on the quiet side of the left, and vice versa. When we go to calm down, we take the calm energy of the left and calm down the right. So that's what we do. So it's within and across and down, within and across and down. So that's when we want to get into balance. Now, after, some of you might have spent quite a while on this course, and you should be able to know or feel when you're a bit too much on the left side or a bit too much on the right. And especially if after a busy day and you want to sit in meditation, that's the time when you need to put up the left and push down the energy of the right to get a little more calm and collected, and let the Kundalini rise up to the top, to your Sahasrara chakra at the top of your head. And of course this is the central channel. Now you've probably done this, I don't know, some of you will have done, maybe not all, but what we do, and this is slightly different from raising a Kundalini this way, in meditation, during it, before, we can just cup our hand and just raise it up, really from the base of our spine, right up the center, to the top. Just pull up the energy. You might well be able to feel something. It's very useful and it's very powerful when you need to awaken the Kundalini. For instance, especially if we are out of balance, it's more difficult for the Kundalini to rise through, because the two left and right channels will be stopping her. So it's very useful to help the Kundalini up by bringing our hand up to the top. The other thing I'd like to have a look at is how, now some of you may have done this, and it doesn't just apply to the central channel, but we give our chakras bandhans as well. So as you know, a bandhan is this, and it's also around the hand, and it's also, we can do it around the chakras. So we can put our attention with our hand. Let's say this left heart. I'm over my left heart here. Now I'm going to give it a bandan. And there tends to be sometimes a bit of confusion what direction to give the bandan. Well, what we do is you go up, to the left, down, back to the right. So you're going, actually looking down at it, you're going in an anti-clockwise direction. But looking at me, it'll be clockwise. So up, to the left, down, to the right. Up, to the left, down, to the right. And then we can pull out the energy. Just believe that your subtle system reacts to the energy of your hand, the Kundalini within you. Because that's what we do. And this is what we do when we work on ourselves. We call it working on, or when we want to help other people open their chakras or clear their chakras. So if I'm working on the center, my center heart, I will just pull out the energy. That's what we do. These are the sort of circles. Or sometimes you can just do half arcs, or you can do the whole one. So if you haven't learned these before, they're very commonly used by the Sahaja Yogis to get ourselves straightened up in some way, to diminish some of the energy that we don't want, and bring up energy that we do need and we do want. And of course, the best thing about meditation is to be in the center, and meditation brings us into the center. Left and right become one. There we are. Become one, and up we go. And that's what it is. That's what we have to be in the center, and of course in meditation in the Sahasrara at the top of our head. Okay, so we're going to look at a video in a second, and at the end we just go straight into meditation. And in meditation, just as when we start, we'll do the clearing, the hand up and the hand down, which I'll guide you with, just to get ourselves again in balance. Because this is a bit active to be in meditation, but this is quite calming. And put the hand down to the ground is calming. So I think we can look at the video now, please.
Now, how to keep in the center is the problem nowadays. Because there are so many alterations. Our attention all the time, we have to alter it. Today I have to say TV, then there's a politics going on, then this is going on, that is going on. Our mind is all the time changing from one to another, skipping from one to another. We are living in a very hectic type of world where our attention is not at all steady in the center. It cannot remain. At this juncture, thank God, the modern Sahaja Yoga was born or was found out. Formerly, one or two persons used to get realization. Very few people used to get realization. At the beginning of the tree of life, I should say. But I thought in those days of complete chaos and such a lot of pressures on people. They have no time to go to Himalayas and work it out. You have to have something very instant. But there was a problem with it. Supposing you try to enlighten people and they just get a wee bit, then what happens? Formerly they used to cleanse the body, everything, for years together and ultimately give the realization to one person, good for nothing. Nobody understood any incarnations, great prophets or saints, because they talked of some another world. That's why they crucified Christ or gave poison to Muhammad Sahib did all kinds of things all over the world. With Sahaja Yoga, this mechanism is activated, where you have got this Kundalini, the power that manifests your self-realization. She is a power, I call it she, because it's the mother's power. She is your mother. She gives you birth, so she is your mother. And she is your individual mother. She takes all problems upon herself. Every time I have been giving lectures, people ask, but we have read in such and such book that Kundalini rising gives troubles. I just don't know. Either they are negative people who are trying to keep you away from reality, or maybe they don't know what Kundalini is. She is your mother, waiting all these days within yourself this power. In 3.5 coils, because there's some mathematics about it. And she is activated, then she rises. Just like a primule in a seed. As soon as you put the seed in the Mother Earth and nourish it with little water, in the same way with little love, the divine love, she is activated and she starts rising. With your naked eyes, in some people who have obstructions in the lower chakras, you can see clearly the pulsation at the triangular bone. With your naked eyes, you can see it clearly. Imagine a bone pulsating like a heart. And you can see the rising, and you can see its obstruction where it stops. Supposing you are a liver patient, it will go to your liver first, informing that first liver should be corrected. Or maybe if you are a great seeker, then she shoots off, comes out of your fontanelle bone area, but again she descends back to the problems where she has to attend. It's a very practical thing to understand. Sahaja Yoga, you cannot pay for it. It's nonsense. How can you pay for anything that is living? When you pay for God, or somebody says I'm God or this and that, you pay money. I have been telling you, I've been here 4 times before. Every year I was telling you, you can't pay for God. God doesn't understand money. This is your headache. Why do you want to pay for anything that is living process? But nobody liked me at that time. To such an extent that in England they told me that Anglo-Saxon brain cannot understand anything without money. I was surprised, who has made this brain? God has made or somebody else? You cannot pay for it. That is the first criteria. It's your own right to have it. It's Sahaja, born with you. And when she rises, she pierces through all these 6 chakras. The one chakra is below her, which guards the movement of the Kundalini completely, and rises through 6 chakras and pierces through the 6th chakra, giving you a cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. Now, no one knows who is Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost is the power of God, is the desire of God. And she is reflected as Kundalini in the triangular bone. That desire is the pure desire within us. All our desires are impure because they never give us satisfaction. Economics says that in general, wants are not satiable. So now we have got the knowledge about the mechanism, but it must work. For example, in this hall, you see beautiful lights are there, and you must have just put one switch and everything must have manifested. But there's a mechanism behind it, a history behind it. All these centers are the milestones of our evolution. The last one is this, is the limbic area, which is called as Sahasrara. If you cut the brain horizontally, you can see as if you have cut a lotus. And the inner part is a vacuum, which is the limbic area. So this Kundalini enters into the limbic area, opens from both the sides, this calyx, or the outside of this lotus, and pierces through that. Now, what is the calyx that we have formed? Are two balloon-like growths within us. One is the ego. When we work, when we do anything, we always think we have done it. Now just see what we have done. It's dead to dead. For example, from some tree they must have made this platform, which was a dead tree, made another dead thing. From something dead they have made the chairs. Now if you are sitting on the chairs, you can't sit on the ground. The chair sits on our head. Wherever you move, you have to take the chair with you, otherwise you can't sit. So this matter is trying to overpower us. That's all. This is the ego that builds within us. We have done nothing but just changed forms from dead to dead. Here I am talking about transforming a human being into a new human being, into a human being where there is spiritual light. In Sanskrit language, a person who is a realized soul is called as Dvijaha, means born twice. And also a bird is called as a Dvijaha, meaning the bird also comes as an egg and then becomes the bird. In the same way, we get a transformation, and that transformation brings us to a position where we are in absolute status, in absolute condition. When the Kundalini passes through Agya Chakra here, this one, the center of Christ, she pushes down both these ego and superegos, which you see the two balloon-like structures. As a result of that, we get a soft bone opened up again, as you had in your childhood, and you feel thoughtless. There's no thought. If you want to think, you can think, but nobody is going on inside all the time. You feel the peace within yourself. And when she pierces through completely, then you feel the cool breeze coming out of your head. And also if this center is all right, you can feel the cool breeze around. As a result of that, the centers, which are like this, we can say, the centers which have moved because of our left and right movement on the sides and have broken the connection with the whole, again go back to their original positions and they get nourished. And the energy that was exhausted in them starts flowing. That's how our physical, mental, emotional and spiritual being is corrected.
So let's stay quiet. There's nothing to look at. Just me, but you don't need to look at me now. So we're just going to do some meditation now. So as I said earlier, most of you, and probably all of you, have learnt and repeated the, oh, by the way, if you've got your feet in foot circles, you can take them out now and just put the bowl aside. So when we want to clear our channels, you've already you've already aimed your right hand down towards the Mother Earth or on the Earth to help clear any negative energy in our left channel. So let's do that now, but we don't all have to do it. People who feel a bit too sleepy, a bit tired, too emotional, or feel they are too much on the left side, then you can put your right hand down. It is not necessary if you don't feel like it or you don't need to. We do these exercises to help get us in balance. And if you feel balanced and okay, or even a bit on the right side, which we'll clear in a second, then just put your right hand towards the Mother Earth, which we'll do for a couple of seconds. And try and keep your attention up into the center and up to the Sahasrara. It's always good to keep your attention at the top of your head, where all the chakras have their seats. And we all join together in our yoga, our union. Just check your breathing. Check for any tensions in your neck, shoulders, anywhere in your body. Make sure you're sitting comfortably, your spine straight. So we haven't really got time to completely empty out our left channel, but this is what you can do when you feel you need to. So we can put our right hand back on the lap and put our left hand up, facing backwards over our left shoulder. This now brings the energy, the heat of the energy of the right channel up, across, and up kind of through the chimney of our right hand into the ether. So we just sit quietly, let the ether absorb any overactive energy in our right side channel. This is another example how we use the elements in Sahaja Yoga to clear ourselves of these invisible energies. But we can usually feel them. We feel anger, we feel irritation, we feel impatience, we feel restlessness, we feel tired, we feel weary and heavy. So all these things we can feel, and now we know how we can help them reduce or get rid of them completely. So we'll just sit quietly for a minute or two with our left hand pointing upwards but facing backwards over the left shoulder. This is where you're letting go, letting all that energy of activity, of worry, of thoughts, of planning stream up and flow from you to be absorbed by all the energy around you. Okay, so now we can put our left hand down back on our lap. So if you try and put your attention up the central channel, I don't know what each one of you feel, it could be different, but we're going to just very quickly get ourselves in balance. So if you're feeling still a bit weary, sleepy, a bit emotional or drawn to the past, then you can raise up your right channel and press down the left, like we did right at the beginning of this program. Raise up your right and press down the left. If you're very busily thinking or planning too much or full of wanting to be active and your body's still restless, then you do the opposite. Raise up the left channel and press down the right. Raise up the left and press down the right. So this is very much individual. Now we don't all have to do it. You only do it to correct and help yourselves get into that word we use a lot, balance, into equilibrium. So I'll just let you sit quietly for a moment, and maybe we have a little bit of music could start. So really what you now need to do is just feel. Am I too busy, or am I too the opposite, tranquil, a bit too lethargic or weary? Or am I in the center and feeling good? So just a minute or so to get ourselves in balance as much as we can. Okay, so we can gently stop the balancing on the left or the right and cup your right hand like we did earlier. Go down level with the very base of your spine and gently and slowly raise your hand along the central channel in front of you. Take it up through the chakras in the center of your body, of your being, right up through to the top of your head, and release the energy into the ethers. We'll do it again another couple of times. Cup your hand, and you're going to help the Kundalini be guided up the central channel. We'll do it actually quite a few times if you like, as many as you like. And hopefully, if you've become sensitive, feel the Kundalini start moving at the top of your head. If you don't worry. We're all at different stages of getting sensitive and of our evolution, and with practice it will come. And when you take your Kundalini up to the top of your head, try and keep your attention there. Even if your hand goes down again, keep your attention at the top of your head, which you'll hear repeat quite a few times this evening, just to help our attention. Don't follow where your thoughts take you. Stay at the top of your head in your Sahasrara. So that's where we'll stop now. Where the Kundalini enlightens the 1,000 petals of this chakra. Remember, when the thoughts come, they will, Remember, we can say, not this, not this. Or not now, not now, not now. Or I forgive, I forgive. Or I forgive this thought, I forgive this thought. And just keep your attention at the top of your head, or a small area above the head. You can go as high as you like above your head if it helps. You keep your attention there. Because there in the central channel is that elusive now. You can only live in the now. And being in the central channel, not the left, not the past, and not the future. We are in the now. And the real essence of now is silence. And that's the other thing we aim to achieve in our meditation is inner silence. That's to become Sahaja, spontaneous and true to ourselves. So we have silence now. Let's enjoy it. Let's be still and quiet. And however tempting the thoughts or memories or images are, send them away. Just watch them like from the bank of a river. In this now there is silence. That is when we make true contact with our spirit, our true self. In this everlasting now that we can only ever live and experience now. And if during this meditation you feel like encouraging the Kundalini, or you think she's not risen far enough, just cup your right hand, as we did earlier, and help the Kundalini rise up the central channel, from the base of the spine right up to the top of the head. Keep your attention there, at the top of the head. Again, where is my attention? Let's bring it back to this beautiful area above our heads, this chakra with 1,000 petals that becomes slowly enlightened and illuminated and fills us with joy and peace and gives us our yoga, our union with the whole. And whether you can feel it or not, there is pure spiritual energy flowing out from your Sahasrara, from the top of your head. This energy that gives you this yoga, this union with the whole, with each other, which is what we're linked with now. And remember, you can always establish this wonderful relationship with your Kundalini, this maternal energy. You can ask her, please, come into my central channel. Come to my Sahasrara. Come to the top of my head. Establish my yoga. You can always speak to her because she's listening all the time. Or Mother Kundalini, please come into my heart. Open my heart. Cleanse my heart. And rise into my Sahasrara. And the more we can do this, the more you'll feel it. The more you feel it, the more you enjoy it. The more you enjoy it, the more the Kundalini flows. And the more the Kundalini flows, the more peace and bliss you can feel. So now we've had a good chance to get ourselves more centered into the now, out to the left and out to the right. So let's raise our Kundalinis as we've done before, letting our left hand flow up and making circles with the right. So to raise our Kundalini 3 times. and then 3 arcs of protection. They're called bandhan, remember. So this is drawing us towards the end of our session. And the next one is on Thursday. So when you open your eyes after raising your Kundalini, you'll see the slide. So on Thursday you'll be looking at how to clear your left channel, because the left and the right have different techniques, because one is cold and one is hot. So you have different ways of clearing them. So that'll be happening on Thursday, and as you can see, it's actually day 43, because we missed a day somewhere along the line. Overcoming lethargy, which is, it's not just lethargy, it's also weariness, all the other things we talked about being on the left side, the dark blue side, the moon side. So now the next thing is about mentoring, which this really applies to people who have not been with us very long or have just joined us now. We have this procedure called mentoring, where a Sahaja Yogi, someone experienced in Sahaja Yoga, can help regularly meeting with you online or physically even, and help you with all the questions and problems and ways of doing things that you might already missed. Or if you've been doing this for a while and you haven't got a mentor yet, you can always ask for one. So we have WhatsApp and Zoom support, yes. So sign up. We've got a chat there. I'll give you a moment to take a picture of it or write it down or scan the QR code. Sorry, I've just got to look at this message. So as you can see, our meetings we aim to start just around 7:45, and there's a WhatsApp group where people who want to talk about their WhatsApp experience, ask questions, can go there, and everybody reads this group. And also when we do chat, which is there, generally this happens a bit more maybe on Thursdays, and at the bottom you can see that it's always the same. Every evening it's the same address and the same passcode, 7171713131. I'll just give you a moment to look at that. There's the web page at the top, which is in Australia, because they started this 21-day course. Sorry, 21-day course. But there is the British page there, as well as the France and Italy and Germany and all the rest. So now if you put me on screen, please, Astik. Thank you. So you see the presenters every time you come to a meeting, and also you see videos, you hear music, you see it's being recorded onto YouTube. Who does that? Because we can't do everything at once, like playing the piano. So we have Sahaja Yogis who are very skilled with the technical aspect. And so I'm going to say this good evening. I want to be joined by the wonderful fellow who's helped me tonight, called Astik. If he'd like to come on camera, please, and we can say goodnight together. Because I don't think we should take for granted all the incredible work that goes on behind the scenes to bring you programs. Can you make yourself bigger, Astik?
One second.
There we are. This is Astik. He's the man tonight. There are quite a team of these guys who help make everything run smoothly. Even if we don't, they do. So it's like we try and steer the ship, but they're the rudder and the engine room. So I just want to say thank you very much, Asti, for tonight. Thank you all for watching. It's been a great pleasure. And so we're going to bring this session to a close now. And so I wish you all a very good night and very wonderful, enlightening meditations.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Fab. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Been a great pleasure.
Thank you very much. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's nice to hear some voices. I didn't know we'd get that. Okay, so I'm just going to close my window. Thank you, Asti, very much for your help, last minute help.